Mothers? What's the smartest way you ever figured out your son's girlfriend wasn't who she claimed to be? I'm not proud of this. Because for months, I honestly believed I was becoming one of those mothers. You know the kind. The ones who never think any woman is good enough for their son. I promised myself I would never be like that. So when my oldest son brought Emily home, I welcomed her with open arms. She was everything you'd hope for. She was polite. She laughed at my husband's terrible jokes. She helped clear the dinner table without being asked. She even brought flowers the second time she visited. My sisters loved her. My neighbors adored her. Even my husband looked at me one night and said, "I think our son found a good one." I smiled. But deep down, something felt off. Not wrong. Just off. The strange part? I couldn't explain why. There wasn't a single red flag. There were dozens of tiny ones. The first happened about 3 weeks after we met. Emily offered to make everyone coffee. I thanked her. She walked into the kitchen confidently. Opened one cabinet, then another, then another. Finally, she laughed and said, "I always forget where you keep the coffee." I remember smiling, but that sentence stayed with me. Always? She'd never made coffee in my house before. I brushed it off. Maybe she'd misspoken. Maybe I was overthinking it. Then something else happened. A month later, we were cleaning out the garage. My son couldn't find the flashlight. Before anyone said a word, Emily walked over to an old metal cabinet, reached behind a stack of paint cans, and pulled it out. She smiled. "Found it." Everyone laughed. I didn't. Because even I forgot we kept it there. I asked my husband later if he'd shown her. He looked confused. No. Now I was paying attention. Really paying attention. Over the next few weeks, the little things started piling up. She knew the back door stuck whenever it rained. She stepped over the third stair without looking. The one that squeaked loud enough to wake the whole house. She knew our dog hated the vacuum cleaner, before she'd ever seen us use it. One afternoon, she asked if the old tire swing had finally been taken down. I stared at her. We'd removed that swing. Almost 8 years earlier. Long before my son even met her. "How did you know there was a tire swing?" I asked. She blinked, then laughed. "Lucky guess. Lucky guess." I noticed she said that a lot. Whenever she couldn't explain something, it was always a lucky guess. Then came the afternoon that changed everything. My son was helping his father repair the fence in the backyard. Emily came inside to grab us drinks. She disappeared for almost 10 minutes. When she came back, she was carrying lemonade. I asked where she'd been. She smiled. "I couldn't remember which glasses you liked to use outside." Again. That didn't make sense. She opened the exact cabinet where we kept our plastic cups. The cabinet guest never found. Later that evening, I mentioned it to my husband. He laughed. Maybe she's just really observant. Maybe. That's exactly what I wanted to believe. Until the following Saturday. My son was working overtime. Emily stopped by alone. She looked surprised to see me home. Then she asked a question. I'll never forget. "Is the box still in the attic?" I frowned. "What box?" The color drained from her face. For the first time, she looked genuinely scared. She tried to smile, shook her head. "Never mind. Wrong house." "Wrong house?" She practically ran to her car. I stood in the driveway watching her leave. My heart was pounding. Because there was only one problem. We were the first family to ever own this house. There was no wrong house. The next morning, I climbed into the attic. There were dozens of dusty boxes, Christmas decorations, old clothes, baby toys, family photo albums. Then, way in the back, I noticed one box. Unlike all the others, it didn't have years of dust covering the lid. Someone had touched it recently. I reached down, lifted the lid, and what I found inside made me realize Emily hadn't been lying about knowing my house. She knew it, far better than I ever could. Follow for part 2.